Your firm is losing six-figure cases every month and you don't even know it. If I told you that your law firm is probably handing six-figure cases to your competitors every single month, would you believe me? Most attorneys I talk to say no. They think their intake process is perfectly fine, but when we actually audit their systems, we find the exact same catastrophic leaks over and over and over again. So today, I'm going to show you exactly what those leaks are, how much they're costing you, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it starting today. My name is Ashley DePiano, and for the past 7 years, I've helped local businesses, including dozens of personal injury law firms, build systems that turn leads into clients instead of handing them to your competition. And what I've learned is this: the difference between a firm that's growing and a firm that's stuck isn't usually marketing. It's what happens after the lead comes in. So let's talk about the 3 biggest mistakes law firms make with lead qualification, and I'll give you specific fixes you can implement starting today. Here's the thing most attorneys don't realize: you're not just losing the leads you never respond to. You're also losing the good cases that are buried in that bad pile of leads. So let me explain what I mean. Let's say your firm gets 100 leads a month from Google Ads, Facebook, referrals, wherever get you leads from. Out of these 100 leads, maybe 20, maybe 10 are actually qualified. And those are the high-value personal injury cases. The other 80 are probably just people looking for criminal defense, family law, or they're just tire kickers who aren't serious. So if you don't have a system to quickly identify which 20 leads are the good ones, what happens? Well, your intake team wastes hours on the 80 bad leads. They're on the phone with someone who got a speeding ticket when they should be nurturing the car accident victim who needs a lawyer today. And while they're distracted, that car accident victim calls 3 other firms, and then guess what? One of those firms answers faster. They qualify them in 2 minutes, and they end up booking the consultation. So basically, you just paid to acquire a lead that your competitor signed. That isn't a marketing problem. That's a systems problem. So let me put this in actual dollars. If the average personal injury case is worth, let's say, $50,000 to your firm, and you're losing just 4 qualified leads per month because your intake team is overwhelmed or slow, that's $200,000 a month in lost revenue for you. Over a year, that's $2.4 million that you spent money to generate and then handed to someone else. So the question isn't whether you can afford to fix this. The question is whether you can afford not to. All right, now let's get into the specifics. So there's 3 mistakes I see over and over again when I audit law firms. The first mistake I see is them treating every lead the same way. So you or your intake team answers the phone, reads the form submission, and then they have no idea really whether this is a high value case or a waste of time until they've already spent 10 minutes on a call. So here's the fix, and you can start implementing this today. All you need to do is create a simple lead scoring system based on the information you collect up front. So when someone fills out your contact form or calls your firm, just ask them like 3 qualifying questions right away. So question 1 would be, what type of legal issue do you have? If they say personal injury, then you move forward. If they say anything else, then you route them to a different process or politely refer them out. You've already now gotten rid of some of the bad leads, and you're not going to waste more time. Now, this is question number 2. When did the incident occur? If it's outside your statute of limitations, you can disqualify them immediately and save everyone time. Question 3, have you already hired another attorney? If yes, they're not a lead for you. They're a referral source or a conflict check. So these 3 questions take 30 seconds to ask, and they immediately separate the qualified leads from the noise. Your intake team can now focus their energy on the 20% of leads that actually matter. And here's the bonus. When you implement this on your website with a smart form or a chatbot, the leads actually qualify themselves before they ever talk to a human. That means your team only sees the good leads and they can respond faster and take more time and care with these leads, okay? The second mistake is responding too slowly. And I'm not talking about waiting days. I'm talking about waiting even minutes or hours, because in personal injury law, speed is everything. There was a study from Harvard Business Review that found that firms who respond to a lead within 5 minutes are 100 times more likely to convert that lead than firms who wait an hour. So 100 times. That is not a typo. Why does this happen? Because most law firms are still relying on manual processes. Someone fills out a form on your website and it goes to an email inbox. Your intake coordinator or you see it eventually when they're checked their email, which might be an hour or two. Then they call the lead back, but the lead doesn't answer because they're already talking to another firm. You leave a voicemail, they never call back. Case closed, literally. So here's the fix. You need instant lead notification and automated follow-up. When a lead comes in, your intake team should get a text message or a notification immediately, not an email, which gets buried somewhere in your junk box. A text, because texts get read in 90 seconds. Emails get read in 90 minutes. And if your team can't respond within 5 minutes because they're in court or on another call, you need an automated system that sends the lead a text message immediately saying, "We got your message. Someone from our team will call you within the next hour. In the meantime, here's what to expect." That buys you time and it keeps the lead warm so that they're not likely to go to someone else. Hey, you can set this up with tools like Zapier, Twilio, or most CRM systems. It takes about an hour to configure this, and this is just one simple thing that could change your conversion rate overnight. The third mistake is giving up after one attempt. Your intake team calls a lead once, they don't answer, and that's it. And this is something I see a lot in businesses. You don't follow up enough. This is not acceptable, and it's not enough time. Okay, the lead goes cold. But the reality is most people don't answer the phone the first time, especially if they don't recognize the number. Okay, so it's actually been proven that you have to call at least 3 times for someone to realize that maybe this call is important and that someone needs to get in touch with them. So call once, it's an unknown number, they don't answer it. Call twice, they think it's a solicitor and they definitely don't answer it. Call 3 times, it's like, oh, maybe this person's really trying to get in touch with me. That's when they answer. So data also shows that it takes an average of 8 touches to convert a lead. 8. That means calls, texts, voicemails, emails, and most law firms stop at 1 or 2. And when they stop, the lead moves on to a firm that's more persistent. So here's what you need. You need a multi-touch follow-up sequence that runs automatically. When a lead comes in and doesn't answer the first call, your system should send a text message 5 minutes later, then an email an hour later, then another call the next day, then another text. You keep this up for like 7 to 14 days with a mix of calls, texts, and emails. And here's the key. Every message needs to add value. Don't just say, hey, we're following up. Say, we wanted to make sure you got the information you need about your case. Here's a free guide on what to do after a car accident. Or, we have an opening tomorrow at 2 p.m. if you'd like to talk. Give them a reason to respond to you, okay? You can automate this entire sequence with a CRM or a marketing automation tool. And once it's set up, it runs on autopilot and your intake team only gets involved when the lead actually responds. So this alone can double your conversion rate because you're capturing the leads that would have gone cold otherwise. Now, I want to zoom out for a second because these 3 fixes are tactical. They'll help you immediately, but the bigger lesson here is about mindset. Most law firm owners think the solution to growth is more marketing, more ads, more SEO, more leads. I hear this every single day. They need more leads. And yes, marketing does matter. But if your intake system is broken, more leads just means more wasted money. It's like pouring water into a bucket with holes. The solution isn't to pour faster. The solution is to fix the bucket. The firms that are winning right now, the ones that are growing while their competitors are stuck, they aren't necessarily spending more money on marketing. They're just converting more of the leads they've already have. They built systems that qualify leads instantly, respond in minutes, and follow up relentlessly. And because of that, they're signing cases that their competitors are missing. So I worked with a personal injury firm last year that was spending $15,000 a month on Google Ads. So they were getting about 60 leads a month, and they were converting maybe 8 of them into clients. That's a 13% conversion rate, which is pretty typical. We didn't touch their marketing budget. We just fixed their intake system, and we added a lead scoring form to their website. We set up instant text notifications for them and built a 14-day automated follow-up sequence. Guess what? Within 60 days, their conversion rate went from 13% to 32%. Same number of leads, same marketing budget, but now they're signing 20 cases a month instead of 8. Now that's 12 additional cases per month. If each case is worth $50,000, that's $600,000 in additional revenue per month. Over a year, that's $7.2 million. That's the power of systems. You don't need to work harder. You need to work smarter. All right, so here's what I want you to do after you finish watching this video. First, audit your current intake process. Pull your data from the last 30 days. How many leads did you get? How many did you respond to within 5 minutes? How many did you follow up with more than once? How many converted into clients? And be honest with yourself. Most firms don't track this stuff, and that's why they're losing. Second, implement the quick wins I just gave you. Add those 3 qualifying questions to your contact form. Set up instant text notifications for your team. Build a simple follow-up sequence. You can do all of this in a weekend with free or low-cost tools. And third, if you want a deeper analysis of where your firm is losing money, I've created a free tool called the Case Leak Diagnostic. It's a 2-minute assessment that asks you a couple questions about your intake process, your marketing, and your reputation. At the end, you get a personalized report that shows you exactly where the gaps are and how much revenue you could be adding if you fix them. At this point, I've had hundreds of law firms take this diagnostic, and the average firm discovers they're losing about $47,000 to $100,000 a month in missed opportunities. And one firm found a single gap in their after-hours intake that was costing them $180,000 a year. They fixed it in a week. So if you want to know where your firm stands, click the link in the description below and take the diagnostic. It's free, it takes 2 minutes, and you walk away with a clear roadmap for growth. And if you would like help implementing any of this, we can talk about that as well. Look, I get it. This stuff can be overwhelming, and you're already busy running a law firm, winning cases, and managing a team. The last thing you want is another project. But the truth is, the firms that are winning aren't doing more. They're actually doing less, and they're doing things differently. They've built systems that work without them. And once those systems are in place, growth becomes predictable. You don't have to keep losing cases to your competitors. You don't have to keep wondering why your marketing isn't working. You just need to fix the intake process. And I've given you the blueprint to do it. So take the diagnostic, implement these fixes, and if you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to keep sharing strategies like this every week to help you grow your firm without burning out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.